So as we go into the weekend and towards next week, we don't have a lot of energy in the sky. So I decided to bulk Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's reading into one, partly because there's not a lot happening in the sky, so we can get through it all. You can walk forward with the information, knowing it, giving you that clarity, giving you that understanding of how to embrace this energy and utilize this energy. Okay, and know how to use it to your advantage going forward in your path. The other reason is it ended up being food poisoning. I bit a shrimp, it bit back. It was a horrible experience. I'm far from 100% yet, and I would like to use the weekend to recoup. So I'm sorry I did miss a couple of days here, but I did get the new moon out. I thought that was important. I did warn you that Mercury was going retrograde the following day. So really, there's only a 1 day gap there, and really not a lot happened in the sky on that day either. Because I thought, gosh, if I missed something, I would feel bad that I didn't give you the information that you needed in order to just be conscious of what is around you, what energies are around you, what is coming at you, what you are putting out, and how it aligns with the energy to utilize it to your best advantage. Anyways, let's get to it. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your love, for all your support. And let's look at our weekend focus for December the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th, 2023. Oh, we had a card try and jump out there, and it was all about going with the flow and trusting in the higher self. Okay, let's just shuffle those in, see where we go. But let's start with the numerology, shall we? So Friday we have the 15 energy. Now the 15 energy is one, it's kind of like the phoenix rising out of the ashes, okay? It's a time where you need to allow the old, allow the things that need to stay in the past. Need to allow it to drop away from you, to burn in the fires and turn to ash, that it no longer is a part of your journey going forward. Many times these are things where our habits and our behaviors kind of keep us in cycles where we need to break free of them. We need to explore a new way of approaching a situation or a behavior or what we do. So watch your behaviors, watch your habits. What do you do when you're in a room and you are supposed to speak? Do you feel confident about that, or do you go away into a corner? And what would be the difference if you didn't slink away to that corner, but you stood up there and talked? And you need to project yourself because you want to network yourself. And so how do you start that into being a natural habit for yourself? Because first it's going to take discipline. First it's going to take awareness, actually, and clarity that you do this, that every time it comes a moment where you can push yourself forward, for some reason you just take that hook and you pull yourself off stage. And that could be a lack of confidence. That could be where somebody has told you that it's not your place to be there, that what gives you that authority or what gives you that right or what makes you so special. It's these little tiny words that we hear in our head that come out and say, we can't do this. What are we doing? We can't do this. Let's go back and do what we always do because that keeps us safe. Okay, and that is our instinct, and that is our brain keeping us safe from harm. We don't want to do that because we don't know what's going to happen if we do that. And we were told maybe we shouldn't do that, so why don't we just not go there? But in not going there, it also blocks you from going forward in the path you want. So the 15 comes in to say, look at your habits, look at your behaviors. And what are you stopping yourself from doing? Where have you actually put a tripwire in place on yourself? Then we have, I think someone's at the door. Just hang on one sec. Okay, my apologies. I know it was just a brief second for you. It was minutes for me. Nobody was at the door. False alarm. Anyways, 1 plus 5 is a 6. So the 6 energy is about our habits and our behaviors. It's also about looking at our routines and seeing, maybe we need to start our days earlier, or maybe we need to be more productive in the time we start our days. Maybe we need to close our days differently. Maybe we need to do something different in the afternoon. Maybe we always go this way to work, but if we went this way, we would cover this ground and we would see this, and whatever it might be for you. But take a look at your routines too and see if they are, where they can be enhanced in some way or changed in some way to benefit yourself a little bit more. Maybe use your time a little wiser, or your energy, your vitality. Maybe it's even your resources that you realize that, maybe you're going and getting that newspaper and a coffee every morning. And by making your own pot of coffee or your own thermos of coffee, you save a lot of money, and then you can put that towards a goal, a dream, a desire, a rainy day, whatever you want. If we do the numerology for the day, it would be a 3 plus, right? December 12, 1 plus 2 is the 3. 3 plus 6 plus a 7, and that gives us a 16 energy. The 16 energy is about awakenings. Oftentimes under a 16 energy, we feel the brunt of it. We feel like our apple cart has been upset in some way, that it wasn't what we wanted to come in. Now we have to deal with that. We have to look in that direction. We have to give it focus. But what it essentially does is it takes away a part of your world in order for you to open up to a new world that is awaiting you. And you have to have the room, the space to make that. And you might be sitting there and going, oh my gosh, that is such a horrible thought, Tilly. But think about it. Now, if you woke up tomorrow morning and you won the lottery, would a large portion of your life just fall away instantly? So it's not necessarily a bad thing that comes at us, but maybe the way we perceive it at the time is considered a bad thing happening to us. The 16 energy allows us to break through that glass ceiling where they said you shouldn't, you couldn't, you mustn't, and you can't. And breaking through and understanding that you can. If you want to, you can, you should, you must. Now, 1 plus 6 is a 7. A 7 is standing in your truth. It's also about wanting to create beauty in your life. Beauty and harmony in your environment, in your relationships is also a very key point when it comes to the 7. But the first thing you have to do is be truthful to yourself. You have to stand in your own truth. You can't let anybody tear apart your dreams or your values or your morals or your wants or your desires. You have to stand strong. Anybody in your life should be a complement to who you already are. Now on Saturday we have December the 16th. We've already talked about the 16 energy, but when we add it to the daily numerology, which would now be a 3 plus a 7 plus a 7, we have that beautiful 17 energy, making the impossible possible. So just because there's 100,000 people doing it doesn't mean that you cannot be successful doing it. Okay, if somebody's told you, oh, everybody's doing it, the market is flooded with those kinds of people. Where do you even think you get in at this point? There's no more ground floor. They haven't seen your dream. They haven't seen the way that you want to do it. They haven't seen your unique talents and abilities, your unique self go and create this, because that's the secret sauce. Okay, because it comes from your heart center, because it comes from your imagination, from your experiences that you've had to walk to this moment in time, your certain unique set of talents and abilities. That's what makes the impossible possible, because it's in your hands going forward, not somebody else's. Now 1 plus 7 is an 8 energy. So the 8 energy is, that's a financial abundance. Under the 8 energy, we may be looking at our budgets, our spending habits. We may look at our investments, how we're investing in ourselves or spending on ourselves, and knowing the difference and how to differentiate between the two. Now on Sunday, of course, we have the 17. We've just discussed that. We're not going to go there, but we will look at the daily numerology, which would now be a 3 plus an 8 plus a 7, which gives us this beautiful 18 energy, and that is our heart center. That is knowing what truly makes us happy, knowing what motivates us, knowing what brings in passion and love and desire and happiness and joy, and understanding those things and how to incorporate them into our lives. 1 plus 8 is a 9. So many times, once we understand what we need to bring into our lives in order to bring in the happiness, the joy, the abundance, we see what doors need to be closed, where we have to clean house, where we have to make space for the new experience, the new want, the new desire, to actually have space to come into our world. and start rocking our world. So yes, 9 is an ending card, but we're ending things with meaning. We're ending it with purpose. We're ending it so that we can make space for what we want to bring into our world. Okay, we'll jump into the astrology really fast, although there's not a lot to talk about. I mean, the sun's in Sagittarius all weekend. On Friday, the moon will start out in Capricorn, but around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon will enter Aquarius. So Aquarius brings in this beautiful collective energy. There is no I am when it comes to Aquarius energy. It's all about the collective. Group experiences are absolutely highlighted, thinking outside the box, being inventive, being creative. And this energy will surround us throughout the entire weekend until we get to about 3 p.m. Sunday afternoon. And that's when the moon will jaunt right over into Pisces. So now it flips over to our emotions, our feelings, our dreams, desires, our passions ignite. But we become less inclined to do and much more inclined to relax, to meditate, to go within, to journal, to just take a breath, to relax, to rejuvenate ourselves. The only other thing really happening is on Saturday, the sun will square Neptune, and this energy will entice us absolutely to put on those rainbow colored glasses, and we'll only see the best. We'll only see the best in people, we'll only see the best in situations, and what happens is we become easily disillusioned of what we are looking at, what we are seeing, and what we believe is the beauty or the value of the situation. Now, when the glasses come off, we can feel a sense of deception, disappointment, confusion, because we're not understanding the picture, because all we could see before was the beauty of it. All we could see before, was the beauty. Now, in order to really utilize this energy well, change your focus this weekend on things that you want to grow beautiful in the world, okay? So take the focus off your goals, your dreams, your desires. Turn it more on the collective. Use that Aquarian energy, okay? And look at how you can grow a beautiful world around you. So it's a beautiful time to step in and help a charity, a social cause, standing up for your rights or the rights of another, fighting against an injustice of some sort. Because so turn them off, turn the focus a little away from your goals, your dreams, and turn it towards the world as a whole. Maybe it's your neighborhood, maybe it's your family, maybe it's just a cause that you feel a strong calling for. Maybe you've heard of an injustice and you want to rise up and help in that injustice and make it right, bring in the balance, bring in the structure. Okay, we'll turn to the cards. Now, a couple things I want to talk to you about. First of all, the calendar. I'll show it to you. It's just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I was so excited when I got mine finally. Okay, so know that when you're ordering a calendar off lulu.com, and if you're on my newsletter, I probably sent out this to you, so you probably already are aware, okay? But here's my calendar, and I mean, it's thick. It's like cardstock paper. You get an affirmation to look at every single day when you look at this calendar. Nice, big, and bold, okay? You also get an entire month, as that calendar hangs on your wall, an entire month of a couple of little things for you to do each and every day. Now, I put it on sale, but mainly because, in a couple of weeks, this calendar really becomes redundant, and I apologize to anybody who didn't make the move. It's not about the money. It's an investment in yourself. It's a year to put you as a priority in 2024. It's a time for you to, can you imagine who you will be? And I know you probably do a lot of these things off and on that I've actually listed here. Some might be like, oh, I got to do that today. But crossing off each day and doing the little things is telling yourself that you are the priority of the day. Until you do the things for you, the day isn't done. What you are saying is that you are worth the time, the effort, the energy. But can you imagine 366 days of following a calendar like this? who you're going to be at the end of it, who you're going to be when you go into 2025. I mean, so anyways, I'll show you a couple, but the pages are nice and thick and beautiful and bright. And as you can see, there's lots of work for you to do. So it's like a journal, except you don't have to journal. You just have to draw a line over the date. Hang that back up there. The other thing that I haven't really put out there, but I want you to know because I'm trying to think of things to do to say thank you. Now, I've opened up my coaching to an online. I can do it through Zoom. And right now, you know, the journey of empowerment begins for you. This is an amazing offer that I'm offering. I've got my coaching, my spiritual coaching up there. So what I do is I use the cards, I use astrology, I use numerology, and I use the tools of today. Okay, I've got all my certification for coaching, and I've been doing it for 12 years actually, through the cards, through meeting with people. You know, I have some regular people I meet with over and over again, and it's more of a counseling session than it is a card reading or an astrology reading, because I can see some of those things that what will hinder you, what will you can walk easily towards, and what things that you need to do in order to prepare yourself for this energy, to utilize it at its best to walk you forward. So right now, until January 1st, I've got all my sessions 50% off. Now, how do you go about getting spiritual coaching with Tilly, you ask? First of all, I've only got a couple of seats open, so this might go off a lot faster than January 1st, but just because I need to keep up to y'all. And this is something where we will meet one-on-one on Zoom, and we'll work on the timeline, if it's once, if it's twice, if it's 6 times, whatever it may be for you. But first, what we need to do is we need to meet, and it's a free thing. You sign up for the free. Okay, the 15 minutes, we sit, we talk to see if we're going to be a good match. I'll then email you some paperwork and whatnot for you to fill out. So I will have a direction of where to focus the energy for you so that we are meeting your priorities, meeting your goals. Okay, and coach you towards the successes that you want to see in your life, whatever that success may be. Not everybody will, just because you book the 15-minute, that's not necessarily it's going to work for us. We'll know by the end of that 15 minutes if it's a good work, I'm sure. And then we take it from there, okay? And then we streamline your 2024 for a beautiful transition into where you are now, into living a very joyful, exciting, abundant life going forward. Anyways, let's go to the cards. So both of those things are up on my site, tilly.today. Go to the spiritual coaching, read about it, watch the video, read the FAQ. And then if you want to check it out a little bit more, and I mean, you have the option of saying no too after that 15 minutes. So, and I'm trying to do one more thing. Got the calendar on sale for you. I've got my coaching sessions at 50% off for you, which is a huge savings that you won't see again for quite some time, I can guarantee you, because it takes a lot of work to do that, a lot of one-on-one. So anyways, but I want to make your 2024 the best it can be. I'm still trying to think of something else to do for you to just, you know, skyrocket you into your 2024 year, because 2024 is what? 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 is the 8 energy, which is abundance in your pocket, which is growing abundance in your life. So we want to utilize that energy to move you forward in the way that you want to move forward, or better than that. Okay, let's get to the cards. Let's cut these cards. Let's see what our energy is. Look at this. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Exactly who I told you. We tried to fly out at the very beginning of this, I believe. The Knight of Pentacles appears. The Knight of Pentacles is about going with the flow. It's about trusting in the universe and God, your angels, your higher self, trusting in yourself actually as well, believing in yourself, knowing that you've got this, knowing that you're enough, going with the flow. I mean, here is a knight. He is not in armor. He doesn't have a weapon. He doesn't even have a little canteen or a picnic basket or something to eat or drink on the way. He is completely assured that so long as he goes with the flow and he goes in the way he needs to go, here the horse will lead him. In our world, maybe it's our higher self, the universe, God, an angel leads us in the way that we need to go, but we need to have that trust, that belief. We can't be fighting the current right now. We have the chariot. Chariot is pullback kind of energy. So this isn't a weekend we're making a lot of decisions. This is a time to bring in clarity. This is a time to bring in understanding. This is a time to become aware of things, to ask the questions, to get the knowledge, get the validation, get the clarity. We want that fog to clear. We want the skies to brighten before we decide to go forward in any direction. We want our next step to be the right step going forward, not just another step. So the more we pull it back and the more we give it pause, the more we spend towards meditation, prayer, just being in the moment, grounding yourself in nature and allowing your thoughts to just roll, having a conversation seemingly with yourself, with God, your angels, your guides. The universe is going to help you under this kind of energy. Our next card is the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords have come up again, and I'm telling you, stop worrying about all that small little detail stuff. It's not the time for it. You're getting worried about things that probably won't even happen. You're starting to say, oh, Tilly, I'd love to do this, but what if this happens? Well, we'll find out if it happens. Let's get going now. We might even just bypass that altogether. That might be a figment of your imagination. That might be a dissolution, right? So this is a time when we will, if we're not paying attention, we'll allow those worries, those concerns to maybe talk us out of something. You ever do that? You have an idea and then you go in that bag of excuses, and by the time you're done with yourself, you ain't ever doing that. I don't even know why I gave that any time at all, any thought. I wasted my breath on that. I can't believe it. But actually it was something good. But because we have that excuse bag, and we can convince ourselves of anything. So this is a time when we can allow those little excuses to be our, oh no, I don't want to do that. Remember, our brain is there designed to keep us safe. So sometimes when it's stepping out into the unknown, when it's trying something new, when you're trying something that perhaps other people have said no to, when you're trying something that maybe you haven't been very successful at before, but you're still giving it that good old college try, and you're back in there trying again and again until you get it right. And sometimes we can lose hope. Sometimes we can feel that lax. Many times we start to worry over all the little things, and our focus goes from that beautiful big picture that we were painting in front of us to all these little problems that get in our way. And while we're trying to put out all those little tiny fires around of us, this starts to fade. Our picture, our best life ever, the happily ever after, that goal, that dream, that desire. Do not let trip over the little stuff. Our energy is mainly Sagittarius energy because of that new moon that we had towards the beginning of the week. Okay, so it's not a time to worry. It's not a time to worry about the details. Don't worry. We'll be going into Capricorn soon enough. That is when it'll get detail rich. We'll be making the list. We'll be making the plans. We'll be looking at the strategies. And with the Mercury retrograde, what we'll be doing, we'll be revisiting all those things and seeing if that is actually the strategy we want to go with, the plan we want to go with. But now is not the time to worry about it. Now is the time the Page of Pentacles comes out. Now is the time to imagine that abundance bigger than life. Bigger than life. I had my kids on the phone this morning and I was telling them about something that happened, and I said, this is going to be this in my life. And my daughter said, I hope so. And I said, hope so? We're not going to hope. We expect it to be. It's just a matter of time. The wheels are in motion. I've said it out loud. That's all I really needed to do. Now I just have to wait for the opportunities to show up so I can take a step and take a step and take a step and step into that picture that I just described to you all. And I said, well, it's my birthday. So I said, and it's my birthday, so I'm allowed to make enormous amount of wishes, and these are my wishes. And so, do not doubt them for a second, children. And of course they were laughing at me and giggling, but they thought, if anybody could pull it off, mom will. And here we have that cloud, right? We have that same fog that we have here. Okay, so we're not going to have the clarity. We're not going to have the understanding. When I put on my bucket list, I wanted to touch a cloud. I never really thought one day I'll touch a cloud, but I put it on my bucket list because every so often you got to get a little frivolous, you got to get a little fantasy oriented, and write some things on your bucket list that you think are never going to happen in a million years. But what happened as I was driving over that mountain range? I turned the corner, and here standing before me, it took me a minute to figure out what it was even. It was a cloud, and it was sitting like 3 feet. It was just a nice little cloud, and it was sitting about 3 feet off the ground, and I knew that I was going to run basically right through it. So I rolled down the window fast, put out my hand because it was on a highway and there was nowhere to pull off, and I drove through it, and I touched a cloud. So, that happened. Why can't anything else I ask for happen? And when you start to get that kind of thought process, now you still have to show up and you still have to do the work. I mean, I still had to decide to travel, so I would end up on a mountain range to put my hand through a cloud, but what an experience. So I was happy I had it. Anyways, we're going to go to... So what's on your bucket list? And don't worry if it sounds a little crazy, because with this guy, we want to expand. We want to expand it to the point of it scares us a little. Like, what if that really happened? What if I could really put my hand in a cloud? I had no idea how that would even come to be, but because I live in a very flat area, really. So, I never thought, well, maybe if I'm driving up the mountaintop one day. Of course I didn't think that because I don't have a mountaintop near me to drive up. But there I was. So sometimes when you put those things out there into the universe, they start working on it so that it can be, but you still have to show up and do the work in order to actually manifest it into your life. We have trust your own understanding, the 32 energy. 32, 3 plus 2 is a 5, and the 5 is all about creating giggles and laughter, joy in your life. Trust your own understanding. The information you are receiving is reliable and accurate. Look deeply into the situation before making any commitments. You have the foresight and ability to discern that there is more here than meets the eye. Everything will be revealed at the appropriate time. Do not feel that you need to prove yourself. Be patient and allow things to unfold as they will. Trust in your own observations and knowledge, for they hold your truth. Okay, and an animal. The raven, the shaman shows up for us. So you are the creator and the magician. Use your gifts for good. There is a power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. So you are the creator. You are the magicians. That's what I was just kind of trying to explain to you. You are the creator. You are the magicians. Your thoughts do have power. Your thoughts put that wave out there, that vibration out there. Things that match that vibration will come back to you. But if you're not walking the path, if you're not doing the work, then chances are that vibration is not going to find you because you're not keeping that vibration alive. So start opening yourself up to the things that you want in your life. Look at your bucket list. Look at your big picture. Look at what you really expect as your best life ever. And then, yes, expect it to happen. Expect it to happen. So especially when we go into the Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, we'll be more dreamlike, more meditative, more pull it back, lazy. Don't turn on Netflix and let that be, your imagination for the night, but rather turn it inwards and look at where you want to go forward and how you are going to create that masterpiece. And it's not even so much how you're going to create it. It's just having a want, a need, a desire, and opening yourself up and making the impossible possible. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.